Time to review a wrestling anime of all things. Sure, I'm not much of a sports anime fan. To be honest, I'm not much of a fan of any sports in general. We're talking about an all-female cast of katas who wrestle in their underwear. So what's to be expected for me to give it a try? The show is also ecchi, which was the decisive factor, as always, for me to enjoy it and watch until the end. It also happens that we get to see the boobs of 5 attractive women at the very beginning of the first episode. Therefore I knew I would appreciate this title. This anime is all about fanservice. Some may claim it's about sports, but just like Harukana Receive or Keijo, we're here mostly for the boobs, the hips, and the ass. Ultimate Surrender, the anime version. Am I right? Right? Can't be the only one that gets the reference. Come on, surely a few guys know what Ultimate Surrender is all about. If not, this anime is a good introduction to a world where wrestling is used as a way to make women look strong and sexy while being naughty with each other. Naturally, all girls from this show are very beautiful individuals. There are some minor exceptions. We get some muscle-head females, but otherwise, the main cast of katas is made up of lean and voluptuous women. Fighting and revealing underworld is great and all, but this anime also adds an engaging and compelling story to go along with the abundance of fast service. It's a said before, girls are naked and take a shower right from the beginning, which is the best way to start a strong kata-driven narrative with lots of bouncy and juicy naked plot. Fanservice aside, the show does indeed have an interesting cast of katas. The protagonist is a fun girl. At the very beginning, she's being introduced as an idol. She's the main vocalist of some popular group called Sweet Diva.
Sakura Hagiwara! Yay! The fans have spoken! Sakura is their queen!
That is a delicious name. I mean, I like what I see. Gives me an appetite. Her name is Sakura. And she seems like the classic cheerful main character archetype. She's very dedicated to her art and works hard. I cannot relate to that, but I sure enjoy her as a protagonist of a story about strength and endurance. Life as an adult can be tough, from what I heard. You gotta be on a diet and dance. I guess you should be no surprise that Sakura is more than able to handle training as a pro wrestler later into the show.
Holy crap, coach! Did she just do the 20-set course? You made the newbie do the same routine that we do? That's right.
But still, I think it was kinda exaggerated how she was able to get to that level so quickly. I guess here are her shonen protagonist genes that make her overpowered and give her the ability to compete. Luckily, it wasn't all easy for her from the beginning. Sakura gets her ass kicked quite a few times before she manages to win a fight. It was painful and yet pleasurable to see her struggle against other girls in their underwear. Women dominating each other is a wonderful sight to behold, not to mention the placement of a camera on all the right angles. And by that, I mean we get to constantly stare at tits and asses. I like this type of sports anime. Keijo is another good example, although there, we experience even more fan service than here. Now the ecchi scenes might not be that conventional in this anime. We get some rough action every single episode, which, depending on the person, can be even better. I don't discriminate when it comes to sexy time. Honestly, I'm quite a fan of bondage and other kinky stuff, so this show has exactly what I was secretly browsing for. Wouldn't trust a woman to tie me down, that's for sure. But if they want to play hard, I'm all for it. The story is about an idol who somehow gets mixed up in a wrestling career. Well, the anime does give us an explanation to why Sakura decided to fundamentally change her life. It was her pride and stubborn personality which got her into this mess. One day Sakura was asked to make a promo for the wrestling group or whatever. And once she got to the gym, she started to talk back to the working girls there and got challenged to a wrestling match. Caballera versus Caballera or something like that.
If you're that serious, then we'll have a real match. Caballera contra caballera.
Anytime, any place.
If you ask me, this was a terrible idea on her part from the beginning.
But I wonder what this capoeira thing is about.
How was she supposed to win a fight against a pro wrestler? Have you seen how mean that girl looks? Not only that, but she also talks a lot of trash, and she seems like she has serious anger issues. I wouldn't mess with her, even as a guy. No thanks. I don't want to be strangled in bed. If there is to be pain, I should be the one inflicting it. Anyway, it was to be painful to see Sakura, talk all confident and strong, only have her completely dominated in the ring, where she might have lost, but the public got their money worth. This was a show better than any wrestling matches before.
Wow, boss, I think we're all sold out. We're setting a new record for attendance with this one.
Think about it. We get to see a beautiful idol, not those compromising positions,
You know, I have just the move for a little tramp like you, and I think the audience will agree.
not to mention we hear her beg for forgiveness, and she screams like a girl from different type of Japanese animations, if you get what I mean. Come on, if you stick with me so far, you watched a few mature, naughty Japanese animations. Since you surely did, this is the level of screams coming from Sakura when she's losing a match. The protagonist gets her hair cut, sadly.
Cutting my hair doesn't even matter. I'm just so disappointed in myself. I couldn't do anything.
I like women with long, straight hair. She was a huge loss for me as well. The pain and shame wasn't enough though. It's Sakura's willing to go for another try. Not only that, but she's decided to join pro wrestling and challenge her opponent again in an official match.
Fight me again! I demand a rematch!
Are you stupid? I kicked your ass bad enough already.
Now I don't know about you, but I get my ass kicked so hard that I pass out on the floor. And everyone sees my underwear. My first instinct would be to get the hell out of there as soon as possible, but not her. She might enjoy the public disgrace after all. I'm full of reference today. What can I say? I'm a seasoned man when it comes to dominating women, or at least in theory. And so it begins. Sakura journey becomes the strongest in the world. I gotta give a bit of praise to the anime, as it gives us a relatively natural progression to Sakura rise to power. Following her matches was hard at the beginning, even though I very much appreciated the sight of girls hugging and humping each other in the ring. It was a bit disappointing to see her lose all her matches. Even her fans kinda started to give up on her. Sakura might have a nice body to play with, but it was her cheerful personality which made her popular to begin with. Now she's depressed and constantly defeated. This was the perfect time for a sensei to appear and teach her some secret technique in typical shonen fashion. She meets a master in the art of wrestling who gives her the basics on how to actually escape a chokehold. From here onward, it's all about winning for our protagonist. We get a pretty good mid-season finale with Sakura finally challenging her rival. Ryo Kazama is her name, by the way, and I do enjoy her muscular physique. She's not as voluptuous as Sakura, but her tastes look good nonetheless.
But now that you've beaten me, is that it? What now? Back to singing like nothing happened?
Some fights are really weird, to be honest. For example, when the best wrestler from Berserk is finally up for a fight, her opponent is obviously cheating. I mean, she has a sword, and her friends are also helping her win. How is this fair or even legal? I don't watch wrestling in real life, but this looks messed up, if you ask me. Oh well, in the end she wins due to her resilience and endurance. Also have to specify it is very annoying to see Sakura keep losing in the third episode of the anime to the same lame old move over and over again. Up to 50 defeats due to the Boston Crab or some stuff. This is kind of very tragic and weird. How come none is telling her how to avoid that hold? It makes no sense for a renowned team like Berserk not to step in and either kick her out of the team or teach her how to fight properly. As I said before, the top player on the team eventually trains her and beats her up really good. I know it's kinda mean of me, but I get her a boner every time she is being dominated and thrown on the floor by other sexy attractive women. Now, I'm not an expert of wrestling, and I don't do any sports in general, but it seems counterproductive to not properly teach someone all the moves before beating the shit out of her. This is some Spartan training Sakura has to endure, torture to feel no pain. The way she can still look that beautiful after all these things are done to her body, and all the things she has to endure at the hands of merciless, jealous, bitter women. Misaki Toyoda is the one that finally trains her and shows her how to actually win for a change. We also get to see her naked body as she's taking a shower in the 4th episode. Beautiful boobs aside, this is an engaging show. It is captivating to follow this girl's journey into becoming a real fighter. I want to be the strongest in the world a 7.7 out of 10. As a fan of ecchi and sexy anime girls, I very much recommend.